50,000. One of the fastest growing cities in the United States, home to some of the most valuable tech companies on Earth. A city of coffee, rain, and mountains. 200 kilometers to the south is Portland, Oregon, another 1 million people. Further north, Vancouver, British Columbia. One of the most livable cities in North America, according to every ranking that measures these things. Together, these 3 cities, Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, represent one of the most economically significant corridors on the entire Pacific coast. Millions of people, trillions of dollars in infrastructure, port facilities that move a significant fraction of North American trade. They also share something else, something that sits offshore, just beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, building pressure in total silence. It has a name, the Cascadia Subduction Zone, and the last time it fully ruptured, it destroyed everything within reach and sent tsunami waves across the Pacific Ocean that killed people in Japan. That was January 26th, 1700. Scientists believe it is, in the most literal sense possible, ready to do it again. Off the coast of Northern California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia, there is a tectonic plate that most people have never heard of. It's called the Juan de Fuca Plate. It's relatively small by geological standards, roughly the size of the state of Texas, and it sits on the floor of the Pacific Ocean, moving eastward at approximately 4 centimeters per year, grinding beneath the edge of the North American continent. This process, one plate diving beneath another, is called subduction, and the boundary where that diving happens is called the Cascadia Subduction Zone, a fault line running roughly 1,000 kilometers along the coast, from Cape Mendocino in Northern California all the way to Vancouver Island in Canada. Now, subduction zones exist all around the Pacific. They are responsible for most of the world's largest earthquakes, including the 2011 Tohoku earthquake in Japan, which reached magnitude 9.1 and generated the tsunami that caused the Fukushima disaster, or the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami that killed over 230,000 people. Both of those were subduction zone megaquakes. Both produced tsunamis. Both caught populated coastlines without adequate warning. Cascadia is the same type of fault, the same geometry, the same mechanism, sitting directly offshore of 3 of North America's major Pacific coast cities. Here is the critical detail that separates Cascadia from other faults. It is currently locked. The Juan de Fuca Plate is not sliding smoothly beneath the North American plate. It is stuck. The 2 plates are essentially clamped together at their interface, held in place by friction, with the Juan de Fuca Plate still pushing eastward at 4 centimeters per year. All of that motion has nowhere to go. So instead of slipping gradually and releasing energy in small, manageable amounts, the locked zone stores it, like compressing a spring, centimeter by centimeter, year by year, decade by decade, century by century. The spring has been compressing for more than 300 years. When it releases, and it will release, because the physics of plate tectonics do not allow for a permanently locked fault, it will do so all at once, instantly, in minutes. The result? A megathrust earthquake. Scientists estimate the magnitude at somewhere between 8.7 and 9.2. For comparison, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which destroyed the city and killed thousands, was magnitude 7.9. Each full unit on the magnitude scale represents roughly 30 times more energy released than the unit below it. A 9.0 at Cascadia would release approximately 1,000 times more energy than San Francisco 1906. For a long time, geologists believed the Cascadia Fault was, in a way, safer than other subduction zones, that it might relieve its stress through slow, gradual slipping rather than a catastrophic rupture. That theory began to fall apart in the 1980s and 1990s, piece by piece, as researchers started reading what the landscape itself was telling them. Along the coastlines of Washington and Oregon, geologists found something strange preserved in coastal marshes. Vast stands of dead trees, stumps, and trunks bleached and preserved in tidal sediment, in locations where trees have no business growing. Intertidal zones, salt marshes, beaches. These are called ghost forests, and they tell a precise story. They were once ordinary forests, standing on dry upland ground. During a massive subduction earthquake, the coastal land they stood on suddenly dropped by as much as 1 to 2 meters in the seconds of the rupture. The forest was instantly submerged below the tide line. The trees died within months, preserved in the sediment exactly where they fell. By carbon dating those dead trees, scientists were able to pinpoint the date of the last Cascadia Megaquake to within a few years. They dated to approximately 1699 to 1700 AD. Working backward from the ghost forest dates, researchers reached out to historians in Japan. Because if Cascadia produced a massive tsunami in January 1700, that wave would have crossed the Pacific in roughly 9 hours and hit the Japanese coast. They found exactly what they were looking for. Japanese historical records, written on the night of January 27, 1700, describing a major tsunami that struck the Japanese coast with no preceding earthquake felt locally. An orphan tsunami, waves with no local source, arriving from across the ocean. The timing matched precisely. The size of the tsunami in the Japanese records matched the models for a Cascadia Megaquake. The two independent lines of evidence, ghost forests in the Pacific Northwest. Historical records in Japan pointed to the same event on the same night. January 26, 1700, approximately 9 p.m. local time, the last time Cascadia fully ruptured. Digging deeper into the sediment record, researchers found evidence of not just one past megaquake at Cascadia, but a series of them. At least 19 full rupture events in the last 10,000 years, recorded in tsunami deposits found in coastal lakes and marshes up and down the Pacific Northwest coast. The average interval between full Cascadia ruptures, approximately 243 years. The time since the last full rupture, 324 years and counting. The USGS and the Oregon Office of Emergency Management have both published probability estimates. The current consensus, a 37% probability of a full Cascadia rupture in the next 50 years. A 10 to 15% probability in the next 25 years. To put that in human terms, that is a higher probability than many of the risks we buy insurance for. It is not a distant hypothetical. It is a near-term geological reality that 3 of North America's major cities are currently not prepared for. Let's walk through what the models actually project, minute by minute, when Cascadia ruptures. The rupture itself will not be instantaneous. A fault 1,000 kilometers long takes time to break from end to end, approximately 3 to 5 minutes from initial rupture to full propagation. That means the shaking will last 3 to 5 minutes continuously. For comparison, the shaking from the Northridge earthquake in Los Angeles in 1994, a relatively minor event at magnitude 6.7, lasted approximately 15 seconds and caused over $20 billion in damage. What Cascadia produces will be 30 to 60 times stronger, and it will last 15 to 20 times longer. The shaking at this magnitude and duration will cause widespread structural failure. Older buildings not built to modern seismic codes, and the Pacific Northwest has a large stock of unreinforced masonry buildings, particularly in Portland, will collapse. Bridges and overpasses will fail. Gas lines will rupture, igniting fires across multiple neighborhoods simultaneously. Water mains will break, leaving fire departments without water supply in the areas where fires started. The earthquake rupture will do something else simultaneously. The seafloor of the locked zone will suddenly rebound. For 300 years, the overriding North American plate has been bent downward by the locked Juan de Fuca plate pressing against it. When the lock releases, that plate will spring back upward rapidly, violently displacing an enormous column of ocean water. The tsunami this generates will reach the Oregon and Washington coast in approximately 15 to 20 minutes. 15 minutes is not enough time to evacuate a coastal town. Not by car roads will be damaged or gridlocked. On foot, only people who are already close to high ground and who know immediately what to do have a chance. FEMA's own 2013 Cascadia study projected that coastal communities in Oregon and Washington could receive tsunami waves between 10 and 30 meters high, higher than a 10-story building, arriving within 15 to 20 minutes. Small coastal towns like Seaside, Cannon Beach, and Westport sit almost entirely within projected inundation zones. FEMA's projection for casualties in a full Cascadia rupture: over 10,000 deaths in the immediate event, with the possibility of significantly more depending on the time of day, season, and how much warning coastal residents receive. The destruction will not stop when the shaking stops. The entire Pacific Northwest region will be cut off from the rest of the country in ways that are difficult to overstate. The primary north-south highway corridor, Interstate 5, crosses dozens of bridges that are expected to sustain severe damage. The rail lines that carry freight and passengers along the coast will be inoperable. The ports of Seattle and Tacoma, through which a significant fraction of US-Asia trade moves, will be non-functional.
The honest answer to whether the Pacific Northwest is prepared for a full Cascadia rupture is, not yet. But the picture is more complex than a simple no. Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia have all significantly upgraded their building codes for new construction since the 1990s. New buildings in Seattle and Portland are required to meet modern seismic design standards that would, in many cases, allow them to survive a major earthquake with structural damage but not collapse. Tsunami warning systems have been improved. Vertical evacuation structures, reinforced concrete buildings deliberately designed as tsunami refuge points, have been built in several coastal communities. Blue tsunami evacuation route signs are now posted on roads throughout coastal Oregon and Washington. A real-time earthquake early warning system, called Shake Alert, is now operational along the Pacific coast. When sensors detect the initial P waves of an earthquake,